For the past 3 years, Boston's Asian American and Pacific Islander, or AAPI community, has faced parallel pandemics. One of business shutdowns, infections, and death, the other of scapegoating, discrimination, and hate. The number of anti-AAPI hate crimes increased 77% from 2019 to 2020, according to the FBI. Stop AAPI Hate, an organization started in March of 2020, has received 11,467 reports of hate incidents throughout the United States as of March 31st, 2022. Massachusetts had the sixth most incidents of any state, with 340 reported hate incidents against AAPI community members. A survey conducted by Stop AAPI Hate in partnership with Edelman Data and Intelligence found that 1 in 5 Asian Americans and 1 in 5 Pacific Islanders experienced a hate incident in 2020 or 2021. A Pew Research survey found that 90% of Asian Americans say they worry that they might be threatened or attacked because of their race or ethnicity, with 20% of respondents worrying daily or almost daily. To learn more about the impact of the pandemic, we spoke with a city councilor and a small business owner in Quincy, Massachusetts, home to one of the state's largest Asian communities.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nina Liang. I'm an at-large city councilor in Quincy, Massachusetts. I am in the middle of my fourth term, so I'm 7 years into this.
My name is Eric, and I'm the owner of this place, Sim Music, and I've been in the state since 1998, so I've been here for a while. I've been thinking a lot how to keep myself going. I mean keep my business going. It is quite challenging. I mean, you have to use every single brings out to start to think, how should I gain more incomes, and at the same time I don't lose focus on my business,
When I was first running for office, this was back in 2015, it wasn't people calling me names, and it wasn't people saying like, go back to where you came from. What honestly chipped me down and wore me down the most was people always asking me, where are you from? And they never asked my fellow colleagues or opponents that. Do you get what I'm saying? No one ever got asked that. And I always got asked that. And I still get asked that. And I'm just and I've gotten to the point now where I'm frustrated. So I'm sort of pushing back and try to educate and reform the question for folks without calling them out on it. Because again, I don't think there's any malice there. But by asking that, it makes me feel othered.
I haven't encountered direct discrimination or any thing that I have to face, but the story that I hear from my friends, I hear it, I would be quite upset about it. Hatred like this shouldn't be in Boston, because Boston to me is like a melting pot of different culture, and people are well educated here. Luckily, we got the greatest school in the world in Boston. It surprised me to hear a story around Boston too.
Maybe a year ago now, I don't know. I have no sense of time anymore. I apologize. But there were 2 incidents that happened very closely to one another in Quincy by the 2 stations, and it was investigated as a hate crime. It was not determined to be one. It was unfortunately just crime of opportunity, where on 2 separate occasions 2 members of the API community were robbed and hurt. And I remember for the first time in my life, my mom calling me and being like, yeah, so I don't feel comfortable walking the dog, And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, my sister, my aunt, she's like, she doesn't feel comfortable walking the dog either. And it's it's tough because you hear that and then you think what can I do to possibly make you feel safer here, And at the time, luckily, Key PD were very aware of sort of that heightened state of just awareness and fear, that regardless of, if you were Chinese or Vietnamese or Filipino or Indian living in the city, that they had a sense of fear.
At Asian culture, we are more there's a Chinese saying, I try to translate it. So we try to make the big matter smaller. If a smaller matter, we try to keep it down. Right? So that's our culture. So we are not very proactive sometimes to speak out things, because we'll be like, it's not that important, and then maybe next time it will be better, So we are not proactive as the locals.
I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, I tend to ramble when I get really passionate about an issue. The more you all are getting the word out to your communities and your networks too, I can't do this alone. Like there's just no way I can do this alone. And like I said, change is slow, but that's how it happens, right? And so that's my last soapboxy thing is just, don't ever diminish the power of your voices, guys, and the work that you do.